Welcome to another episode of the Rank 'em Podcast. Glad to have you with us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Rank 'em Podcast. We are also wherever it is you listen to your podcasts. So we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Podcast Addict, YouTube, wherever it is you consume your podcasts. We are there. Give us a 5-star review, like, subscribe, however you can help us out. We certainly appreciate it. I'm Garrett Seawright. I'm on Twitter at Garrett Seawright, 2 R's, 2 T's in Garrett. Joining me as always is my good friend, Don Garwood.
Happy Thursday.
So Don is on Twitter at Donnie_G. And joining us once again this week as our esteemed guest in the recliner, it is my younger brother, Zach.
Esteemed guest. Wow.
You bumped all the way up.
I feel like I made it. I got to use Don's mic the other day. Like it's.
I'm still not happy about it.
I have arrived.
You've something, all right. Before we dive into what we're doing this week, Don last week got a tiny little kitty cat who is named still pending.
Yep. Right now, its name is still Kitty, 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 and also no. tends to be
shouted a lot,
right? Like I called Garrett this morning to see what we were gonna talk about, and the entire time that cat is just attacking me.
Don's like, so what do you want to? Like, what are you okay? Like, I don't know if you got kidney stones or you're having a stroke. He's like, this stupid cat is clawing the hell out of me.
Hopefully by this week's episode, I have a name for it. I've got a bit of a theme going on in my house. My dogs are all named after Star Wars characters. That's what I'm kind of struggling with naming this cat, is I think I'm going to keep that same theme up.
Is it a boy or girl?
It's a girl.
Admiral Akbar. No matter if it was a boy or a girl, it's going to be Admiral Akbar.
So the hardest thing for me to figure out is, so like I have a dog, Obi, and right. I had a dog, Chewy, and Kiwan's dog, who is staying with me right now, her name is Leia. They're all 2-syllable words. 2-syllable words are the key with pet names because they're the best to yell. Like if your dog's outside and you want it, you go, Obi, Chewy, Leia. There you can get inflection on it, you can shout it. If you just shout Ray, it doesn't. Right. It's not as good. So you got to get a 2-syllable word or more that you're not embarrassed to tell people what its name is.
Admiral
Jar.
Akbar.
That sounds like a basketball chant.
It does. It does.
Admiral Akbar. Yeah, you can't be at the back door.
Right, so I'm shouting that outside because my cat's outside, and I just hear claps coming from the neighbor.
Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar in the running there.
Jar Jar has not been in the running. Oh, Misa, little kitty cat.
Stop. All right, so what are we ranking this week, boys?
So, one thing I'm going to say before we say what we're ranking, we do have a little bit of swag that we haven't advertised too much. But if you leave us comments, tweet at us, Facebook, iTunes review, wherever, if you give us an idea on something to rank or something that didn't make the list, any comments that we like, we will send you a little car magnet that we have. We got a surplus of them, so we are working on giving them away. But on to this week's episode, we are ranking our friends' wives by hotness. Zach, start it up. I'm kidding.
I thought we were doing something else.
Zach was going to go from 1 to 5 instead of 5 to 1. He's like, all right, so obviously number 1 is like, oh boy.
Right. No.
Oh boy.
We are ranking breakfast cereals this week.
And Don, I know, has felt pretty strongly that when you eat them as adults, they have changed from when you were 6 years old getting ready for school.
There are some of them that have changed. Some of them, and it could just be like the classic Coke versus Coke dilemma. When in the 70s they came out with new Coke and they made it taste intentionally awful, so that when they came back with quote unquote Coke Classic, and they used like fake sugar instead of the real sugar, everybody thought it was better then. So it could just be that they changed up the ingredients and they taste completely different now.
Could be.
I'm not a scientist, so I'm not 100% sure.
Is that true? You're certain you're not a scientist?
No, I just play one on TV.
All right. So we are going to rank our 5 favorite cereals. And then instead of our honorable mentions this week, we're going to mention a cereal that we absolutely despise. And we are not allowed to say that we despise it
until you
get to that spot. So, Zach is the guest in the recliner this week. So, Zach, what is your number 5? Start us off.
So the important thing to know about me is that even though I'm 28, I am 57 minimum.
Okay.
So I got some old man
57
cereals.
what?
Years old.
Oh.
I got some old man cereals on my list because I am low-key just a middle-aged guy who's mad at the world.
You just got to stay regular.
Yeah.
Bunch of fiber.
Real fibrous.
So, in that vein, my number 5 cereal, and I absolutely do love this cereal, so I don't know what that says about me, is Frosted Shredded Mini Wheat, which is just the classic old man cereal.
Frosted Shredded
Mini Wheat.
That is not my cereal that I hate, but I do hate Frosted Shredded Mini Wheats.
Like they have just the right amount of frosting on them, and you got to get the mini wheats because the not mini wheats are stupidly huge
and bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like eating a burlap sack.
Right, you can't get them in your mouth without like tearing up the corners of your mouth.
right. That's why you got to get the mini wheat,
Right,
and the mini wheat.
and you can get like 3 of them on the spoon. I don't use a normal size spoon with cereal. I use like the big like
Serving spoon.
Yeah. So you get like 3 of those laid horizontal. I can dig it, Zach. That's my number 5 as well.
Hey, I'm serious.
Frosted Shredded Mini Wheat.
They're so not good.
I
No,
feel
they're-
so much better about myself right now.
It's literally like eating a burlap sack. Like those
Yeah, that's the best part.
those cubes
Okay,
of
that's not
that
the texture
texture.
is the best part. I was going to say eating a burlap sack is not the best part, but there is a special moment when you're eating a bowl of Frosted Shredded Mini Wheats when they're not rock hard and they're not double the size as when you started.
Fact.
Where the outside is still kind of crunchy, but the inside is full of milk. And there's a special part that you get about 3 bites out of every bowl. That's just the best cereal.
It's like the nacho in the middle of the nachos that is completely covered, but just with the perfect amount of everything in it.
Yes.
Right.
Gotcha.
Which I heard an argument that nachos are the biggest ripoff that you can get anywhere because the top layer is completely covered.
Right.
It's got all the goods on it. Everything underneath of it,
It's just
chips
Yeah.
that you
Just
spent
chips.
$6 on.
That is 100% fact. Whatever wise soul figured that out, they're going places.
I can't believe you had that at number 5, Don. I actually don't feel bad about myself for once. So that's
I mean, you should
Give it time. Give it time.
right because I'm sure that the rest of your list is not
hot
good.
garbage.
Right.
Yeah. My number 5, and there was a lot of battling going on for my number 5. But in the rare occasion that I've had this, like you just go searching it out. And I got Corn Pops at number 5. I dig a very you can't eat like a whole box of Corn Pops. Like if you get one of those mini boxes that you got at like summer camp, they're perfect. But I can't eat like a whole 8-ounce box of Corn Pops. But they're good.
Aren't those just like literally made of high fructose corn syrup?
I hope so.
I mean, if you're going to come out talking crap about Frosted Mini Wheats and you come out with Corn Pops.
You know, Corn Pops don't taste like a burlap sack.
Right, they taste like...
They taste like corn.
They taste like sugar
They
in the
taste
shape
like-
of corn.
They taste like corn that was rolled in some sugar.
And then the milk afterwards is perfect after Corn Pops. Like it's not so ridiculously sugary, but it's just got enough cereal milk there.
I mean, I don't know if this is on anybody's hated list, but I won't completely trash talk you for having Pops because I don't have it on my list either, but I don't mind like the Smacks or whatever they were.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
with the frog logo.
Yeah.
Dig them.
Dig them. That's right. Dig them.
The only reason I know that is from that episode of Family Guy where Mayor resurrects that statue.
Dig them.
Which it's just sweetened puffed wheat cereal.
I actually really...
What, Smacks? Yeah.
I'll
It's-
say, I always buy the off-brand of the Smacks, but I actually do like those because, again, especially when you get like the Malto meal off-brand.
Oh, God.
Like, that's how you know you're getting into old man territory. Where it's
Golden
like,
Puffs.
Yeah,
or
where you're
Golden Crisp.
yeah, because you're just like, here's this, industrial-sized bag of breakfast cereal that costs $3. Sign me up.
Right next to the normal 9-ounce box that costs $8.
Right.
And you're buying the feed sack version to leave in your garage like it's dog food.
I just go out there in the morning, I get a big old cup full, put it in my bowl.
I get literally a measuring cup full, put it in my plastic bowl, and when I hear it, I come running.
Here's the most important question. When I hear the cereal that I'm pouring myself,
When I hear the cereal I'm pouring, I just take off running.
well, my wife goes outside, shakes the bag.
I went missing for 3 days, and my wife just sat on the back porch shaking the bag of cereal. And I came home
eventually.
Here's probably... So we've all done our number 5. Here is probably the most important question about cereal.
Sorry, just the idea of Zach's wife. It's a non-existent wife. Shaking his cereal in a measuring cup to get him out of bed. It's going to make me piss myself. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, I will mute my mic. I got to breathe. You tell your...
Okay, so we've all done our number 5. The most important debate about cereal: milk first or milk second?
See, there was a whole... That was the
one question for the reaction show.
Before the show.
What you wanted to say for the reaction show?
You got to go cereal into the bowl and then milk.
Yeah. That's the only human way of doing it.
Right. Everybody else is those lizard people you talked about in the conspiracy theory episode.
Right. Now, the only time it's acceptable to have milk first, if you decide...
A second bowl?
I want a second bowl.
Right.
I mean, usually if I want a second bowl, I drink the milk and then do cereal.
We're doing a whole
But
thing
if I've
again.
just got like a little bit of cereal left, that's not enough for like a whole bowl, you can just dump that back on top of the used up milk.
Okay, yes.
If you've got a half a bowl of cereal, you don't have to drink the milk and then do it. You can just pour that on top.
I was thinking of that the other way, that you were pouring what you didn't eat back into the box. It's like, you are a monster.
Nope, no.
Like you're pouring milk back in and just putting it back in your pantry.
I used to do that with, I didn't put it back in the pantry, but with like Hershey syrup, you get to the end of it and it's just like squeezes and it just comes out in like little spurts. I'd screw the top off, pour milk into the Hershey syrup thing.
That's
and
fine.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
So I'm not a complete psycho.
No.
Okay. I'm not the only one who does that, like the sprinkles on the Cosmic Brownies.
Yeah, you're alone there.
Okay.
So those are our number 5s. Don, what was your number 4?
Number 4 is he's a one and only tiger with the one and only taste. Frosted Flakes are more than good. They're simply good.
They're just great.
Well, that's
they're
like
just
their
good.
box now. If I saw one at the store and it says, "They're simply good," and I was like, that doesn't really fit the theme song anymore. Frosted Flakes are more than good. They're simply good. That doesn't.
Right. Tony the
doesn't roll off
Tiger
the
isn't
tongue.
getting out of bed because, this cereal's simply good.
I mean, it's a staple that's been around for forever, and the flakes are topped perfectly. They're nice and crispy.
They are.
And it makes your milk super sweet afterwards. Like I've got nothing bad to say about Frosted Flakes. I don't think anybody can have anything bad to say about Frosted Flakes. And after my first 2, I kind of feel like I'm with Zach in this old man cereal phase that we're going through. But we're not getting. I didn't like list off any like the super crazy cereals that the kids have these days.
That makes you old manish right there. Zach, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Fruit Loops. That is definitely a children's cereal. There's no two ways about that. But
They got a new toucan, right?
yeah, and he sucks. The animation is hot garbage, just atrocious. Classic Toucan Sam for life. R.I.P. buddy. But no, like
Of the things that was going to happen in this episode, I didn't expect Zach having hot takes on
Toucan Sam?
animated
Have you seen
cartoon
it, though?
logos.
He's trash.
See, thank you. It's bad. I mean, it's real bad.
It's like when they replaced Steve in Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
You can
Did
tell.
you see Steve's he uses a smartphone now instead of a notepad, and
I haven't really been
checks
watching.
his email instead of the mail. Like they don't. Here's the mail. They check their email.
I mean, that makes sense because you got to update it for the children. But I'm not a fan. They should have just stopped Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Blue should be dead by now for sure.
absolutely. Even a dog.
Salt and Pepper still alive?
Like
Does he
push it?
No,
Push it real
that's
good.
Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
Salt and Pepper, as in, and then they had the little baby that was Paprika.
Yeah.
That was after my time. I know you got nieces and nephews, but I don't know. Zach's got Fruit Loops number 4.
But, recently found out that all the Fruit Loops taste the same regardless of color.
Yeah, that's why it's my number 4 as well.
I was just saying, and that really messed me up.
Yeah, they all taste the same.
I thought you were going to say it tastes the same regardless of what the logo looked like.
Well, it does that as well.
Right.
But all those different colors and stuff, as a child and even now as an adult, you should know that,
Green doesn't taste like apple. Grape or
I was
purple
gonna-
one
I
is
mean,
a
I
grape.
guess I never thought that they tasted different as a kid, so that's not some revelation that I'm having as an adult.
Well, but it's the principle of the matter is that red is strawberry, blue is raspberry, of course,
Naturally.
purple is
But
grape,
they didn't
orange is orange.
advertise it. Every
I
other
know, but-
cereal had like marshmallows or whatever advertised as
But you
different
mean to
flavors.
tell
It was
me
never
that-
advertised on the Fruit Loop, so why would you assume that?
That if every strawberry or Starburst you had,
They
was a different-
advertise the flavors on the big box.
They really don't.
Yeah, they're
just
called
like-
strawberry. They don't call them red. They call them strawberry
Right.
on the big box. So why would you think that they weren't flavored strawberries?
You shouldn't have to advertise your flavors. Everybody knows that red is strawberry, orange is orange, blue is raspberry, purple is grape. There are things that you should be able to rely on in this world.
I don't know. It sounds like you're judging them by their colors to me.
That's a
I was the
different
racist
topic.
last week. You're the racist this week. Also,
You know what?
Fruit Loops is on my honorable mention.
I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear that racist because
Fruit Loops
colors
should be
matter.
different
Colors
flavors.
matter, and they should all be different. That is a scientific fact.
I need somebody to clip that and use it out of context.
I can tell.
I
that
can't
story.
wait till that's viral on TikTok, where someone's just walking down the street and it's like colors matter and they should be treated different.
I didn't think about that. I got a post show story. Producer Ashley, can you mark? I got a post show story about things.
No, she's playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. She cannot.
Which I paused mine like a good little boy. So I got a story about things being taken out of context.
I can write that down for you.
in that similar vein. Thank you. So that's my number 4 as well, Zach. Fruit Loops. So we're cooking right along here. My number 3 is Don's number 4. I got Frosted Flakes. I struggled between 2 and 3. My 2 and 3 are very interchangeable. But Frosted Flakes are almost like the perfect cereal, and I don't know if there's a way to make them better. But
there's a bunch of ways to make them worse.
Absolutely. Like by removing the frosting and making them cornflakes, which are just trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Cornflakes are awful, and Frosted Flakes are almost the perfect cereal. I don't know how that happens, but it does.
I think sugar is how that happens.
You're probably
Coagulated
You're probably
sugar.
onto something there. But Frosted Flakes are so good. You were right that the milk is really good after you're done with Frosted Flakes. And if you eat them just fast enough, they're still crunchy, even if they've sat in the milk for a little bit.
Yep.
So they got just soft enough that they're not, just fiberglass shards in your mouth, but they're still crunchy enough that it feels like you're not eating baby food. And that's like the perfect spot for Frosted Flakes. So I've got them at number 3. Zach, what about you?
My number 3 is Honey Nut Cheerios. Of all of the Cheerios, of the 900 variations, they are simply the best.
Simply the best.
But no, like they are not overly sweet. Like they're not just coated in sugar. There's that nice soft honey flavor, the little texture of the oats, which I don't, it's just about right. And like all things considered, it is good for your heart to eat Honey Nut Cheerios. And so in the vein that I am an old man, they are they're good for my cholesterol. And
That's the only thing you eat that's good for your cholesterol. It can't be like Honey Nut Cheerios I eat a whole 12-piece family meal from KFC.
I eat 3
You ate
pounds.
an entire chicken for lunch yesterday. Don't judge me.
It's a small chicken.
I eat 3 pounds of red meat and Honey Nut Cheerios every day.
Keeps
Ticker's still going.
Keeps you regular.
Keeps
Keeps my
your regular
cholesterol right
cholesterol
where
down.
it needs to be.
No, that's not. That's not how that works. But you're right. Of the Cheerios, Honey Nut, because regular Cheerios,
garbage,
trash.
It's like the same thing with Frosted Flakes versus Corn Flakes.
Just
like,
awful.
Well, it's like regular like unsalted peanuts versus like honey roasted peanuts.
Right.
The comparison is just there isn't one. So obviously, when you add honey to the mix, it increases the value. Much like my number 3, which is Golden Grahams. Golden Grahams used to be my favorite cereal. When we were like in intermediate school, you go there, you get breakfast in intermediate school,
right.
And you got like a bowl of cereal, and you get like a little carton of milk, and you mix it together. Golden Grahams and chocolate milk is the end all be all.
You are correct there. That's good stuff. But that's like the only cereal that you can go chocolate milk with.
Right. I don't think you could go chocolate milk with like Frosted Flakes.
No.
I'm sure you could.
But it's not as good as just good old 2% white milk.
Right. But it's honey, brown sugar, and essentially the same.
Cardboard.
They're harder.
Honey, brown sugar, cardboard.
And it's delicious. And I think that on that one, if you can keep them, I had it last week, is how soon I have had Golden Grahams, because Mom had them down at her house because she was babysitting my niece, and I ate like 3 bowls of it last week.
So that passes the adult test.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's probably the only cereal that I've had in the last 5 years.
Did you have it with chocolate milk?
I didn't. She didn't have pre-made chocolate milk. You can't really pre-make your own chocolate milk because you can't get the consistency right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I didn't want to go to the gas station just to get a thing of chocolate milk to have cereal. I wanted cereal now, not in 4 minutes.
I can respect that. You're a man who knows what he wants.
Cereal's like a binge meal. It's 3 p.m. You don't want to cook anything. Cereal. Right.
So, Zach, what's your number 3?
We established
He already did it.
Did you?
Yep.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, I forgot that you're stupid. Zach, what's your number? I'm just kidding. Honey Nut Cheerios isn't my honorable mention just because of the Cheerios. It's good. Did you know they make fruity Cheerios, by the way?
No.
That's-
And Honey Nut Cheerios is not in my honorable mention because of the Cheerios, it's the best.
It's not
But
bad.
of normal cereals, it's still not good.
It's not bad.
It's not better than anything on my list. Objectively, it's not
It's better than honey, shredded.
No, it's not.
Honey-covered mini wheats or
No,
whatever
it's
the
not.
hell it is. Zach, what's your number 2 then? Sorry to interrupt.
So sorry to interrupt.
My number 2 is a cereal that is dignified. It is for our military folks. Captain Crunch Crunch Berries.
They eat that in the Army?
Eat that in the Navy.
I think it's...
Are you making
It's a joke.
right,
It's
like
Captain,
an Admiral Crunch.
Because he's a captain.
Horatio?
Yeah.
Crunch.
Captain Horatio Crunch, but more specifically, Crunch Berries. Because regular Captain Crunch is pretty good, but you get that bountiful harvest of the Crunch Berries down here in the States that you don't get in Canada if you ask K. Trevor Wilson.
Yeah, he told that joke better than you did.
Yeah, well.
Squirrely Dan from Letterkenny.
But
That's the only place that you know him from.
That's the only one you can really say there.
But no, Crunch Berries are great. They reduce the amount of shredding the roof of your mouth of regular Captain Crunch gives you.
Okay, let me stop you right there. I have a regular Captain Crunch as my number 2. And maybe I'm the moron, but how does it cut the roof of your mouth? Like everybody's always...
Are you serious?
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Like I've never... Maybe I eat it stupid. I don't know.
How do you eat it?
With my mouth.
Like,
Just
chew
spoon.
it?
I eat it like every other cereal in the history of the planet. And everyone talks about Captain Crunch cuts the roof of your mouth.
I mean, it does.
How? What do you do?
It's just the hardest, most jagged cereal.
No,
It is. If you don't get them all laid down perfectly,
Right.
horizontal,
Right, it's like stepping on a Lego,
right? Yep.
but like with your mouth.
I literally cannot compute what that would mean
Now
or
that
feel
being
like.
said, I do 100% eat Captain Crunch like an animal, and that like I put them in my mouth and I like suction all the air out of my mouth to draw all of the milk out of them, and then I chew them out. Oh, Ashley's nodding her head.
Producer Ashley's in agreement.
But that's how you cut the. That's how I cut the roof of my mouth.
That is not.
Is because you're creating a vacuum
just eat, like-
inside your mouth.
I
and then-
eat Frosted Flakes the same way I eat Captain Crunch, and I have no idea how this happens to people.
Now, don't get me wrong; it's worth the cutting your
Oh,
mouth
yeah.
for. If it wasn't, nobody would eat it.
That blood's half the flavor.
You guys are doing something wrong, because I don't think that's what Captain Horatio Crunch was going for, man.
Well, he did. That's why he made it such a difficult cereal to eat. He doesn't want just anybody in his military.
Just the toughest of the tough.
Right. Just the toughest of the tough can sail with the
May
captain.
I have seconds, please? Sir.
I would take seconds of Captain Crunch, because it is delicious. Phenomenal. Just by itself. Just good old regular Captain Crunch. Get the Crunch Berries out of here. Be gone.
Okay, you're ridiculous.
Right.
Be gone, Crunch
You're saying
Berries.
some ignorant stuff.
And you prefer Oops All Berries.
No. I just like the ones with the Crunch Berries in them.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah.
So not the Oops All
not
Berries.
the Oops All Berries.
But you prefer the
You want
Crunch
Captain
Berries.
Crunch with Crunch Berries.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, does that cut the roof? The Crunch Berries stop the roof
It
cutting?
cuts. It
They
cuts down.
they aren't as jagged
Right. It cuts down on how badly the roof of your mouth is cut.
because it takes out the capping and adds the berries.
As more berries. Got it.
Yeah.
I've never experienced, like, I hear like jokes in stand up or people I know talk about they love Captain Crunch, but it just cuts the roof of their mouth. I'm like, are you stupid or am I?
I mean, that really is. I don't want to talk about that, so I'm just going to save that for the post show.
Okay.
But
Don, what's your number two?
I don't have either one of those cereals on my list at all.
Really?
Full disclosure. My
Captain
number
Crunch is better than Frosted Shredded Mini Wheats.
Well, yeah, that's why he said number 2. Shredded wheats for me were number 5.
I didn't say that they were number 2.
No, I'm saying for me. Like Garrett's saying, oh, they're better than.
No, they're
Right, but they're not
better.
on my list, is what I'm saying.
Right, so I'm
Right.
telling
But
Don
I
he's
had
wrong.
them at 5. I had the
Right.
Frosted Shredded Mini
But then he
Wheats at
doesn't
5.
have Captain Crunch on his list at all. That means
Anyway,
he's
we'll
incorrect.
just go through it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch at number 2.
That's a solid choice.
I mean, I don't know that I need to go into that much depth on it. I don't know if anybody else has Cinnamon Toast Crunch somewhere else on their list. If you don't, I don't know why you don't. If we're talking about the pure flavor of the milk afterwards,
Oh, yeah. Top notch.
it's the best. It can't be beaten. Cinnamon flavored milk, as I know some people to refer to as, is Jesus milk. And if you actually mix rum chata and Fireball together, it tastes like the milk that you get after.
okay. I thought you were like
Right.
rum chata, Fireball into my milk with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No,
Like,
but
you
it tastes,
are an animal.
It tastes like the milk after Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And so that's why they call it, I think they call it Jesus juice, is when they do the Fireball and the cinnamon and the rum chata. But yeah, I mean, just based on the milk, it deserves to be number 2. And the cereal's really good. And again, that hard kind of cereal helps it from getting too soggy when it sits in the bowl for a longer period of time.
So we've all done our number 2s, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So before we do our number 1s, let's do the cereals that we all hate. And I'll go first. The cereal that I absolutely despise is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Are you
kidding
serious?
me?
terrible?
You're fired.
It's awful. It's like eating cardboard with sand on it.
If that cardboard was delicious and that sand was also delicious,
Made of
and
just the
cinnamon
greatest flavor
flavored,
crystals.
Stupid seasoning that's on it is not cinnamon. It's I don't know. It's
cinnamon sugar.
right. It's the cinnamon sugar that you bought at Aldi and then put in a microwave for 35 seconds.
Still better.
It's
Still
awful.
great.
it has the taste
cereal
you can
is-
see.
Right.
The cereal itself is just terrible.
Literally after we
It
said
has
our
no
number 3,
consistency, no taste, no flavor.
It's the better version of Golden Grams. It's Golden Grams with cinnamon.
Literally after I said my number 3, I looked
so
at my
much better.
list and said, "Oh crap, I don't have Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I messed up."
I mean, yeah,
you
you
because
did.
It's just terrible. It's just awful.
No,
Like that-
I am in the wrong. You are just wrong.
If the best part,
Like Zach messed up, you effed up. Like that.
the selling aspect, the thing you're marketing is the stuff that you want on this cereal falls off. You ain't got a good cereal.
Not all of it. Some of it falls off because you still get that delicious taste when you're eating the cereal.
Right.
And then you're done
It's
and you're sad
trash.
because it's gone. And then you're like, I can get the remnants of it out of this milk. And it's delicious. And I don't
awful.
know how you could be more wrong in this case. Well, I know
Cinnamon-
how you could be more wrong in this case is if you had my number 1 as your least favorite. But this is
close.
shocking news.
It's terrible.
You're terrible.
It's a bad cereal.
I'm glad that I don't have to compete with you to get it then when I go shopping
That's fine.
for cereal never.
Don, what is the cereal that you absolutely hate?
I absolutely hate Trix. Cannot stand Trix cereal.
In a traditional cereal setting with the milk and the spoon, Trix is terrible.
Correct.
Producer
Was that a question or a statement?
That's a statement.
Okay.
Producer Ashley once made Trix treats, like instead of Rice Krispie treats, she used Trix, and they were really good.
Meh. But
Like Rice Krispies as a cereal sucks. Like,
Right.
To eat Rice Krispies in a bowl with milk is awful.
No, I think I've had Golden Graham treats before too.
Gotcha.
Also really good. But I'm not judging based on that. I am judging based upon the fact that Trix cereal is terrible. And here's why. When I was probably 8 or 9 or 10 years old, there was five kids in my family. I'm the youngest. Mom went out and went shopping in bulk.
Right.
So she bought
Shopping for $7.
a year's worth of stuff. And she bought a year's worth of Trix cereal. There was no other cereal in my house until all of that cereal was gone.
One of those.
And I brought this up a couple of weeks ago when we were at my house. Everybody was at the house and we were talking about it just to see if I was the only one that remembered it. Am I remembering something crazy? My sister Allison's like, no, I remember that. We were dumping we were throwing full boxes of Trix away to try and burn through. We
Thrown in the pond of the fish.
right to get rid of it. We were eating 5 bowls of cereal a day. It's we got to get through this cereal. I
understand that.
Because for whatever reason she just bought a full year's worth, and I think we might have gotten at some point she bought some other cereal because we just stopped eating cereal at one point.
Mom, we can't do this anymore.
But then I think she started mixing cereals together, which is a whole different blasphemy.
Oh,
So it's oh, right, we got Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Trix because it's the only way that Trix is getting eaten.
So Don's got Trix as just the one you just despise, which I don't think it's horribly wrong. Zach, what about you?
The cereal I absolutely hate the most is Kix. It is here's how you know Kix is bad. The only time I've ever seen a commercial for Kix is on PBS.
Isn't it heart healthy, kid approved?
Yes. And it tastes like styrofoam.
Yeah, it's like you put packing peanuts in a bowl of milk.
Right.
With just a little bit more crunch.
Right. It's just terrible. I don't care if Clifford and Arthur are sitting down together and eating a big old bowl. It's garbage.
Did I say kid healthy, mom approved? I think I said heart healthy, kid approved.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But no, I mean, Kix is also
garbage.
Terrible.
Didn't our grandma, Zach, didn't she almost exclusively have Kix?
Yeah.
And then finally somebody got the berries enough to backtalk her and Grandma, can we get some cereal with sugar in
She
this?
had that and then frosted shredded mini wheat because Grandpa loved that.
Blech.
See, now there was a different brand of Kix that weren't that bad that essentially had the crunch berries in them. And then it became the kind of a little different flavors, and so it wasn't that bad. It's like bran cereal, not Raisin Bran, just bran.
That'll keep you regular. All right, so before we've done, does anybody have any honorable mentions that they feel super strongly that they need to mention?
I already talked about mine when you guys talked about Fruit Loops.
I just want to say I want to apologize to the folks at General Mills that I forgot Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me.
In a similar vein to my Corn Pops,
General Mills.
Apple Jacks is good.
I also have Apple Jacks.
If in the same vein of Corn Pops is once every couple of months, in a one bowl setting, Apple Jacks is great.
Yeah.
So, got to the point where we're going to reveal our number ones. I have a decent feeling I know what Zach's is.
You have no idea what mine is.
I have no idea what yours is. So Zach is the guest in the recliner this week. What is your number one favorite cereal?
My number one all-time favorite cereal is Frosted Flakes.
All right.
Is that what you thought it was going to be?
No.
They're more than good.
They're more than good. They're great.
They're great.
Literally, you said they are almost the perfect cereal. You were so close. They are the perfect cereal. They are the best cereal, hands down. It's the whole reason Battle Creek, Michigan has the right to exist is because Frosted Flakes are made by the Kellogg's Corporation that is headquartered in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Well, that and Randy Quaid stopped the aliens in Independence Day.
Well, there's that.
They were probably going to get to Battle Creek eventually. I mean, if it wasn't for Randy.
Well, thank God Bruce Willis stopped that meteor in Armageddon.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, Battle Creek, Michigan
was going to get it. They were going to get it. So Zach had Frosted
I would
Flakes.
agree that that's probably... I would consider like Frosted Flakes to be like a staple cereal. Cheerios, Raisin Bran, Frosted Flakes, Frosted Shredded Mini Wheats.
On the Mount Rushmore of cereals, Frosted Flakes is there.
I don't know. George Washington?
Yeah, it's front facing. No, I think it's George Washington. It's front facing. There's more of him on the Mount Rushmore than more Frosted Flakes on the Mount Rushmore than anybody else. He's number one. George Washington, first president.
Right, but because I would consider like a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch Golden Grahams, those are kind of almost like gimmicky, kind of like these cereals are the boomers, and we're talking about like some millennial Zoomer cereals
but
are ranking our
list.
list.
There's some stuff that's so good that boomers, Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, we all love it.
It's the Dwight Eisenhower of cereals.
Correct. So what's your number one, Don?
My number one, I mean, if we're comparing it to like famous people, it'd have to be obviously the Keanu Reeves of cereals. You know, just the all around best cereal. It can't get any better. Boomers, Zoomers, and Gen Z, millennials are all digging on it, and that is Cap'n Crunch Peanut Butter Crunch, the best Cap'n Crunch cereal there is, because it's peanut butter flavored, and it's.
I do like me some peanut butter crunch.
They discontinued it, which is why before we started, I said
did
they don't have to still be in service. Yeah, it was like 5 years ago.
Seriously?
And so
I said before
our friend Marcus's mom like freaked out because she loved it. She like went and bought a bunch of it.
Producer Ashley, every maybe 7 times she gets groceries, will get a box of cereal that she only eats because she doesn't ask me what I want.
Or they discontinued it and brought it back. They might have brought it back after Outrage.
After Don started picketing outside their factory.
Cap'n Crunch Peanut Butter Crunch is the best cereal, hands down. Like I'll eat the whole box right now. It's the best.
So then you just don't have any skin on the roof of your mouth, or
no, because they're all they're berry shaped.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not.
You can look at the picture if you want.
I would love to look at that picture.
I'll say I thought they were like regular shaped and just
Whip that bad
peanut
boy
butter.
over.
They are not. They are berry shaped in their peanut butter.
Well, the more you know.
Oh yeah.
It's essentially Oops All Berries, except for it's double Oops. The berries are peanut butter.
It's essentially half of my number one, which is Reese's Puffs.
Yeah, the
Reese's Puffs is great. It's phenomenal. It's chocolate. It's
solid.
peanut butter.
had a catchy song in the 90s.
And it's similar to Frosted Flakes, and then it can sit in milk for a while, and it's still semi-crunchy.
Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs.
I believe strongly that Don dreams jingles and songs and pulls them out in real life as if they've been happening for... Maybe that's the Mandela effect. You lived in a jingle...
Do you not remember that? The commercials for Reese's Puffs?
Interesting.
I remember they being.
Not
I remember
with a
them
song,
being
no.
intense. Like they were always super intense.
I don't remember
people
any
were like
songs.
skateboarding in the
Right.
bowls of cereal and stuff.
That I remember, but
Okay.
I don't remember a Reese's Puff song. But they're so good. It's chocolate and peanut butter. You can't go wrong.
So the one we were talking about, cereals that never lived up to the hype that you wanted them to. Reese's Puffs is that for me. Like, I love Reese's peanut butter cups.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that the cereal would live up to the hype. It just didn't. Like, for whatever reason, Oreo O's was one that was like that.
See, I never had Oreo O's.
Cookie Crisp was one like that.
Cookie Crisp.
Trash.
I never had.
You would think
not good.
you'd think miniature Chips Ahoy cookies and your milk would be delicious. Nope. Horrible.
That's disappointing.
Garrett, what did you think my number one was going to be?
Reese's Puffs.
Really?
Yeah, I thought for sure that because I've seen how much Reese's Puffs you can eat, bro.
Now, I'm not saying Reese's Puffs are bad, but I don't think they would be my number one if they tasted how I wanted them to taste.
If they tasted as good as Cap'n Crunch peanut butter crunch,
Right.
with some chocolate crunch balls mixed in there.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping for. But
I think if they
Reese's
if they
Puff
probably
is like
separated them.
Reese's Puff is almost some off-brand. Like it's not made by General Mills or Kellogg's.
I think it's
right?
made by Post.
I was going to say, I think it's Post, which is just that step below.
No, it's General Mills.
Is it?
Yep.
No, well, the more you know.
Well, they don't put much effort into it, I'll tell you that.
No.
It could be slightly better, but it's still really damn good. So, like, if producer
Honestly,
Ashley, who doesn't ask me what I want to eat for cereal, if she were to ask me, I would probably hit her with a Captain Crunch original. But
I'm glad no one said Lucky Charms.
yeah,
They're not great.
they're not good.
The marshmallows are doing
It's
all the heavy lifting.
The marshmallows are
It's-
okay, and the cereal sucks.
It's normal Cheerios shaped like other things with marshmallows.
Yeah,
Right.
but they're magically delicious.
Marshmallows are pretty good.
They're okay.
They get the job done, but they are doing the heavy
They're
lifting.
actually better without the milk.
I was going to say, the marshmallows you either have to get before they hit the milk, or you got to wait about 10 minutes for the milk to soak into those.
Well, they
dehydrated
essentially,
bad
like,
boys.
for babies or, like, small children, they you can buy, like, just bags of marshmallows, and they're essentially the marshmallows that go in Lucky Charms.
Nice.
And then you give them those. They're better without the milk.
Oh, absolutely. So that's our cereal episode. We want to know what you think. Tweet us at Rankum Podcast, or comment on our YouTube page, or however you can get a hold of us. Let us know what you think. Whose lists are trash? Whose lists are great?
Leave a review on iTunes. Maybe we'll feature it on an episode.
We could do that too. 5-star review. Just leave your thoughts, and we'll read whatever you say. NSFW, full frontal, whatever you got.
Yep, bring it on.
On an oncoming podcast. Zach, want to thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll also have a reaction episode where we will get into all sorts of ridiculous topics about cereal, of course.
Mostly.
But I do have a great story to tell. It's not that great in the reaction show, so join us for that as well. You can find Don at Donnie_G on Twitter. I'm at Garrett C. Wright. This has been the latest edition of the Rankum Podcast.
Cool. Chris.